Oh,
Take my picture, somebody.
no, we're not doing that. Tiffany, bring your camera down a little bit. But Takesha, what were you saying about God loving us?
Like he loves us so much. Like I'm so excited about this. And I feel like it's an invitation
Mm-hmm.
that God has given us. Like, you know what I mean? Like to become his, like to accept that we are his daughters.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we are his daughters. You know what I mean? You know how some things are true, like regardless of whether you believe it or not, like it is true. It is true that we are God's daughters because we have accepted Jesus Christ as our personal Lord and Savior. But the fact that He's inviting us into this relationship to know Him as His daughters, like I'm here for it. Like I'm so ready to just experience the love of God as a daughter. Like people know your father, right? Y'all both talked about having really great relationships with your fathers and y'all can call
Mm-hmm.
them for anything. People know your fathers, but they don't know your father in the way y'all know your father.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
whole different language, there's a whole different everything. He don't even talk to y'all the
Everything.
way he talked to other people. You know what I'm
You
saying?
really
So,
don't. It's so funny because you met my dad before, and when you met him, what did he call me?
oh, I don't remember.
He was like, "Hey, Shouty."
He, yeah, because I started cracking up. I was like, how did we get here? But he it's a difference, right? It
Yeah.
is a difference when you know your father loves you. You aren't afraid of him, like you respect him and you reverence him, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just so excited.
Oh my
Are
god,
we
that is so
live?
funny. We
Are we
are live.
live?
This is the pre-show. You're fine. I literally told you I was pressing the button, but I wanted you to
I
still
was waiting
talking
for
for
the
the pre-show.
I was waiting for our dope, intro.
I have to press that button. That's why I wanted you to keep talking. This is the pre-show before the intro. Child, listen.
Thanks, producer.
Why you no
What
no
Tiffany, you better get your sister. I'm
I'm
not
so
doing this
no?
with her today.
excited today, y'all. Like, I am so like, could you imagine like you and your daddy are have planned a date for today to go to Six Flags and you know he gonna let you ride all the rides and get all the things and play all the games for the teddy bears that he could have just bought at the Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And he
Right.
gonna buy you a turkey leg and a slushie.
I
Like
don't
you
know
ain't
if I've
gotta pick
ever
and
had a
choose.
turkey leg though.
Girl,
Baby,
I
somebody
don't.
grandmother from the 40s done cooked them turkey legs at Six
I
Flags.
probably had them
y'all need
in
to come to
something,
the
but not
fair.
by itself.
No, you need to just like
I've never had it. It's
the
so funny.
Flintstones.
So, and y'all, we this is the pre-show of Dear Christian Black Girl. We added a segment. Hey y'all, this is the pre-show of Dear Christian Black Girl. So back to turkey legs, right? And so my husband was talking about something and he was like, turkey leg. I was like, yeah, that's the actual restaurant in Dallas. He was like, no, you lying. I was like, no, it's called Turkey Leg Hut. He was like, you are lying. I said,
It's
no,
in
it's for
Houston.
real. Yeah, in Houston. I was like, no, it's for real. He was like, wow.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Tiffany
But I
invited
don't
us
I
to the
don't think
fair.
I've ever had a turkey
Yeah,
leg
y'all
like
need to
by
come to the
itself.
fair, and it's the end of September to October.
I
What's the
want
end
to
of
come.
September?
The
The
fair.
Texas State Fair.
Oh, okay, cool.
I want to come.
It's one
I
of the
Yeah.
love
largest
fairs. I haven't
fairs.
been to one in a while because baby daddy, every time it comes to Atlanta, baby daddy shuts me down because he's like, it costs too much money. You cost two hundred
But your
dollars to go
daddy
to
ain't
the
gonna
fair.
say that. You see what
So fun fact. So here's a fun fact about my dad. My dad works for a commercial decorating company. So they do all the trade shows, all the big conventions here in Atlanta and all over the United States. Well, every year my daddy puts up the fair in Perry, Georgia. He sets the whole, like, his team sets it up every year. And he took my mom this year and I was so upset. I was like, I want to go.
that's
Oh,
his woman, okay?
That is
You
his
wasn't
woman. And she
invited
she
on
does
that
not
trip.
mind letting me know, child. She does not mind letting me know
That's
that
my
that is
man.
her husband.
Okay, I'm just saying. See, you see what I mean? Your natural father is limited because maybe he got a wife, okay?
he
But
got a
the
he got a
father,
whole wife.
Our
We got
father
a
is
whole
living. He's like, baby, come on, you come into the fairies.
right. Like
Okay.
now we're like, come on, girl. Hey Shantae. Y'all, we are also on YouTube. So if you want to see our faces, go ahead and join us over on YouTube. This is the pre-show where we are talking about just a whole bunch of stuff. Takesha started talking about she basically continued her room from Clubhouse and started talking about God being our father, and then we got into the whole how my daddy be doing stuff thing.
But you know what? Knowing God is your father that's what's been keeping me in the secret place.
Okay, tell us more.
Absolutely.
We are talking about family today, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are talking about family. So this is perfect.
So that's what's been keeping me in the secret place, because literally when I see the secret place, I just see it as a house. And I'm literally like kind of looking at the screen door at all of this foolishness.
Wait, start with foolishness. You said you see a house and a screen door and your camera went out.
What in the world is he doing?
Your connection, I guess. I don't know. That's what it said. It said connection lost and it came right back on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call Spectrum. But because I don't know why he be doing that. It don't do it to nothing else. It's just when we on broadcast.
Seriously. Oh, it be hating on us then.
Yeah, because that does nothing else has that effect. Even my phone. So yeah.
Oh, it be hating. For real. It's all good though. But Tiffany, before you get in that, let's go ahead and start the intro. Y'all, this is the pre-show. We're just talking. Y'all know how we do. We just be having conversations. We just be talking about stuff. Y'all see my haircut though? Like,
yes, it's fly.
Like,
that side part.
On.
Period.
Yes. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. Y'all, how's everybody doing in the comments? Let us know how you are feeling on today. What's up, y'all? What is going on? Y'all, it's DCBG Thursday again. We are back for another episode of your favorite international podcast, Dear Christian Black Girl. What's up, y'all? So y'all already know I am your girl, Jerry Alicia, one of the hosts of Dear Christian Black Girl. And I got my two sisters. Even though we are not biologically related, you can't tell us that we not sisters. I don't care what you say. We sisters. I don't care what you say, period.
We are.
Yes.
I got all my sisters with me.
Hey.
That is such a family reunion song.
Yes.
Yes. And so I am Jerry Alicia.
I'm your girl, Takesha. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm Tiffany Dillard.
Tiffany, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work
What?
on it. Do you see her face, Takesha?
I came
Got
with
this
some
poised
enthusiasm.
face.
That was enthusiasm?
Oh. It
Oh.
wasn't? Oh, well, you know, I don't know how to turn that up real loud.
Ready? Okay, we gonna do this how Tyra Banks. You ever watched Top Model before?
Yes.
You ever watched Top Model? And Tyra would be like teaching them how to smize, and she would tell them like, in order to smize, right? Because you automatically want to smile in a picture or give fears, but in order to smize, to get it right, you have to close your eyes and then count to 3 and then open your eyes. And that's how you smize, right? So Tiffany, we're going to try that with enthusiasm. I want you to close your eyes and I'm going to count to 3. And when I open them, I want you to give me your best, hey y'all, or, you know, your lingo. I want you to give me the best that you got. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to count you down from 5. I think you need a 5 count.
She needs some time, okay?
I think you keep that smile. You see that smile right there? I need you to keep that right there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, you better.
That was better. It was better.
Better.
We still got
Okay.
work to do, but it was better.
That
It was
seemed
good.
to be a lot.
What?
Like, really, like.
That could not have taken all out. Really.
That did. That feel like I was at Sears or J.C. Penney's or Ola Mills. Like,
You know, fun fact, we used to call my sister Shantae Olin Mills. Because
Why?
number one, she has pictures from every stage of her children's life. Me, you
Okay.
might find them at 2 and then 12. You know,
might
but
find them at 2.
she has pictures of every single stage of her children's life from birth. I mean, like hospital birth, like they just popped out birth. But she is also the one that no matter what's happening, there is going to be pictures. She will ask me all the time, did you get pictures? And I'm like, no. And she has pictures at every occasion, every event. We used to call her Olin Mills. Look, she says she's been working on her smize for years. Do we not do, Shantae, just let the people know in the comments. Smizing and getting our faces ready for pictures is literally like, all right, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Ready?
Oh, y'all
1,
be doing it for
2,
real.
3. Baby, we be ready. Cause she always got.
And I just don't be caring. I just be like, this is what you get.
I mean, I prepare for pictures, but it's just the whole, you know.
Shantae said, I stopped
in the
taking
morning.
pictures because y'all was talking too much junk. Y'all made Shantae stop taking pictures.
Because they have to. One time I took a picture of her and I took the picture and I was like, perfect. She looked at the picture and was like, and you had the nerve to say this was perfect. I told y'all how she played me with the pickle. I told y'all how she played me with the pickle. I took a
Oh,
picture and I was
Shantae
like,
don't be playing.
I said, perfect. It came, to me, it was beautiful. She was like, and you had the nerve to say perfect? And I was like, okay. So I ain't taking no pictures for her.
And see, then I would ask, what's wrong with it? Like, show me what's wrong with it. What's wrong with the picture?
I don't want her to show me what's wrong with it. That's the thing. Because there was nothing wrong with it. We talking about family, y'all. And sometimes family be doing the most and the least at the exact same time.
Did you say the most and the least at the same time? I mean,
picture was fine.
I mean, you're not lying. You got a point.
And I'm the oldest and get treated like the third youngest. You know what I mean? Like,
you be all right. I promise you will live.
Family. Welcome to the family episode, guys.
Yes. So we are talking about family on today, guys.
So listen, Tiffany started talking before we popped in our intro. She was talking about God the Father and the secret.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, Tiffany. What about? Oh, you were saying that the realization that God is our Father is what's keeping you in this secret place, right?
Yeah, because I've come into agreement with that. That he is my dad. So
that's good. Can we just pause right there?
Yeah.
That we have to come into agreement that God is Abba Father, because we don't be doing that a lot. Like, we hear it,
Yeah.
And then we just be going on about our business without actually knowing. And so we really do have to know. KNOW. You have to know. You have to believe. And you have to receive God as your father. That's good, Tiffany. I love that.
It is. So that's where we at. But Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery is the one who helped me with that, because I just kept watching how she was, like how she reverenced God and how she talked about God. Because she talked about God more. Well, she would talk about God, but she would always more talk about him in the sense of being my daddy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really, I was just kind of watching, and God was like, oh, I'm like, okay, And God was like, no, watch, like, pay attention. And so when I started seeing it, and like, she is one that's like, don't, my daddy don't play about me. I don't think you want to do that. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's type of situation. And that's how I feel about my dad. Like, my daddy will go, to war over me. I'm the first. And then I'm his first when he was young. He was like 21 when I was born.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, we got that grow up bond that
Yeah,
I had to
yeah.
figure this thing out, didn't know how to do it. Like, I was literally everybody's baby because I wasn't, like, he has a tight knit of friends. So all of them were around. And then, especially when they knew that I was a tool for them to get the girls, they were really like, oh no, give me the baby, you get the baby back
What
there.
the
Like, I was
world?
literally
He was the
everywhere.
chick magnet.
You
I
were
was
the chick.
everywhere with them.
Wow.
Everywhere with them. Like, my granny used to be like, Tiffany, what you do today? I'm like, oh, I was hanging with the fellas.
Not calling them the fellas though.
Those are as my grandson Nazir says about his uncle, these are my guys.
Wow.
Those are your guys, Tiff.
Those your guys? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, but once I got that revelation and really just paid attention, I'm like, okay, because it was more of like him saying, okay, if she can feel that way and I can be that way for her, why I can't be that for you? So that's
Mm.
where the posture change in prayer. Like, don't bow, because when we are not saying, like, some of us get on our knees, and I'm not saying that there's something wrong with it,
Right.
but he's more looking at the heart posture. Like, when you come to me, you're bowing, or you're positioning your heart in a bow to me, but you have that servant mindset, and that's not how I want you to come. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I come to my dad and I ask him something, we sit at the table, I'm calling, like, it's a face-to-face conversation. I'm not coming to him like, well, daddy, can I'm not doing that. I'm coming to him in confidence. I'm coming to him knowing that, okay, he gonna hear me out, and my request is gonna be fulfilled. It may not be
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled right then, like, but it's gonna be fulfilled. And so, like, I'm 40 years old and my daddy still pays my cell phone bill. So it's just like, that's not something I even
Wait
pay
a
attention to.
minute.
I don't, because they were like, you want
What?
to change your services? My daddy pay my bill. That's exactly what I tell people at Sam's. No, my daddy pay my bill. They're like, oh, okay, well,
That
goodbye.
is
Like,
so funny.
I have nothing to talk to you about, sir, ma'am. I'm not going to be your new client.
But that confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Like,
that
you're not even worried about it. It ain't no
No,
thoughts about it.
no. And that's what he told me, because one thing that me and my dad used to do when I was younger, he was like, I would ride, and I'm like, Daddy, where we going? He was like, Monique, just sit back and ride. And I'm like, okay. And so one day I was just sitting in here in the living room, and he was like, I need you to do that with me. And I said, what you mean? He was like, just, how you used to tell your daddy, you'll ask where y'all going. And he would like to say, sit back and ride. And you would just sit back. He said you wouldn't question, you wouldn't think like, okay, a worry, a stress. He said, that's what I need you to do with me. I just need you to sit back and just ride and trust that where we're going is beneficial to your life, is beneficial to you, is beneficial to your family, is beneficial to your marriage. Like, everything, I have everything in control. And so I'm like, okay. So that's what just took me into the secret place. Because at first I was thinking, okay, I am in a secret place because I'm praying, but it's literally a spiritual place, and you have to put your whole self in there. So when I see about everything that's going on in the world, I feel protected. I'm like, I'm in a secret place. So it's like I'm looking through a screen and looking outside, like, it's a lot going on out there. And it's
That's what
and
Psalm
like
91 says, right?
Yeah.
And then the
You'll
other
see it to the
day
left and to the right, but it
when we
won't come
were
near me.
talking, and you were like, get back in position. I was like, oh, let me go back inside, because literally I could see myself stepping out on the porch, like looking, and you like you did, get in the house.
Because it's our safe place, right?
Yeah.
I love that analogy of your dad. And do you know I had the opposite effect with Tiffany? When she
What
would
do you
talk
mean?
about God, her father, I would get so sad because I would be like, I will never have that. Like I
Oh,
felt
that
so
makes my
far
heart
I'm
sad.
not joking. I felt
Oh
so far
wow.
removed. I really, in the beginning, like when I was following her, and her
Yeah.
heart posture has always been that way forever, as long
Yeah,
as,
yeah,
that I follow her ministry. And I would be like, that will never be for me. Like it just felt so far removed from me. And I wanted it
Mm.
so bad. But to your point, Tiffany, I kept showing up instead of as a daughter, I kept showing up as a servant. Like, what can I do for you? Oh, I'm so sorry this didn't go right. I'm so like it wasn't never any like relationship where I can sit at the table that my heart was postured in reverence, but I get to talk to my father as my father,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
would see her and I would be like, oh, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want that so bad. But like you said, it's a decision that we make to come in agreement. Like, it doesn't matter what I was feeling like. I begin to say, God, you are my father. I thank you
Mhm.
for loving me as your father. I thank you for raising me as your daughter and growing me up with the mindset that I am your daughter. And that is when that shift began to change, because it was an act that I had to do, right? It was an act of faith and obedience, to be able to come into that place. Some days I'm still like, we still together, you know what I mean? But that's just
Not
because
not we still together.
I let my circumstances and my
Yeah,
emotion, and then I
yeah,
go on the porch because I be trying to see what they doing. And then I'm outside on the porch too long because then I'm down rabbit holes like, why they over there, Dad?
yeah. And your
Look,
dad is like, "Girl, get back in the
right,
house."
and like the girl, I think her name is Ari or something, Ari, something like that. On she be making skits with her with
Oh, you talking about Area Fitz?
Ariel Fitz, and this is me on the porch. Lord, Father, what they're doing over there? Dad, it looked like they digging tunnels over there. What they doing? And he's like, get back in the house, get off the porch. And I'm like, I'm gonna go see for myself. And then I'm over here with them and they digging ditches to hell. And I'm like,
And then
well,
you're like, "This is ghetto."
but I'm over there. No, I'm still over there now. It don't get ghetto yet. I'm still
Oh
looking,
gosh.
trying to figure out why they doing that. What they doing it for? Who told them to do that? And I keep going and going. And then when I look up, I don't realize I done fell in the tunnel because they done dug the ditch around me. And I'm like, Father! You know what I mean?
And he's like, I told you to stay in the house.
Like, girl, I told you to get in this
I
house.
told you, now you dirty. Come over here and take a bath. And so as I kept having those experiences of falling into other people's ditches because I'm nosy, pray for me, I have begun to realize that God is going to protect me against all odds, even at the expense of when I put myself into those situations. And not that I'm trying to take his grace or his mercy for granted, but having family, right? God is our family. Like, he's engrafted us into his holy family. And having that relationship, it is definitely, like you said, a decision and coming into agreement, no matter how we feel. Because like with our natural families, right? I don't gotta like you today. You could have clearly got on my nerves, but despite how I feel, you still my sister.
Right.
Period. Like, no, I might be mad at you, but bet nobody say nothing about you because
Right.
off with her head, right? It's a different kind of vibe. So despite our feelings, God wants us to be in family and relationship with him. And I think that's why we are born into families, right? You know what I mean? As a sign of God's love and partnership and intimacy, like all those things that come with family. And I know that everybody's family is not the same.
Yeah.
But
in a general sense,
the intent of the family is still what God desires for us, to have a loving father, a loving mother, to have family that will support you, raise you, walk you into, new places and spaces. Like, it's still the intent.
Yeah, and it was always the intent. Like, I
Always.
think we gotta realize that, like, that was always the plan. Like, a two-person family with kids was always the plan, right?
Always.
It was never the plan for broken homes, was never the plan. That was never part of God's plan. God gives us grace to go through those things
Yeah.
because of our life circumstances, because we make bad decisions, or just because of, whatever. But the original plan was for mother, father, children.
Hmm.
That was always the original plan. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really good.
And even for
Um,
those who didn't want children, right? Or God didn't call to have children, it was the family of community. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like it was the
yeah.
family of community. Like there is protection and there is safety in family, right? There is so much like why is there a focus? There is a gnat that it just literally flew by my face.
I'm
Um
going to make that a clip. I just need you to know that I am going to make that a clip because that was hilarious. Girl, what are you doing?
Focus. This past Sunday, our co-pastor was teaching about order and the tribe of Issachar and knowing the signs of the times. But she began to give us history of the Jewish people, the Jewish community, and how in family, how they, raise their sons and raise their daughters, and how they put plans and processes and order in place so that their children will grow up and be successful. And as I think about our family conversation today, it just really brought that thought about order, structure, right? Reverence for not only your family but also for God, like setting things in place so that your children for generations to come will be prosperous, teaching them how to maneuver in a world like even in this moment when I think about it, she was literally showing us how the Jewish community has set a standard of being in this world but not of this world. And it just made me think about that in this moment. And so yeah, family is a beautiful thing. So let's talk about our families, or what family means to you all. What does that look like? What does family mean to you? Hey, Ash, we're coming back.
Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. Tiffany, you can go ahead and talk. My bad, y'all.
I'm not on camera.
You are. We can still hear you. She's just in
Oh,
solo layout.
oh,
There we are. I was
oh! I
like,
didn't know. I didn't know
where
if I was
they
No,
at?
you're still right there. Go
I don't
ahead.
see you, Jerry.
I know. I'm fixing something.
Okay. Well,
What does family mean to you, Tiffany? When you think about family, what does that look like to you?
it means unity. It means oneness, um, safety.
Mhm.
It means comfort because you have people that in your family that know you, that allow you to be who you are. Um, it also can mean um, we are our own little kind of tribe because that was a big thing in the Bible. Like everybody was with their own tribe, even though we moved together, we were still with our own tribe. So
Mhm.
you have your own tribe, a different form of culture because each family has their own culture. Um, which is the culture is the biggest thing because the family culture is really what really introduced you to your perspective of the world. You don't know the world until you really see it through your family's eyes first, until you get out and kind of meet other people and have friends and kind of see how their family culture is, and you really kind of your perspective on the world kind of changes as people are introduced into your life, and so that changes. So that culture of the family, but it could be a good and bad thing
Mhm.
because you
Mm.
could be raised up in a culture of the family where there's a lot of dysfunction and toxic, but it's normal to y'all. You know,
That's very true.
Uncle Baby always come to the cookhouse drunk all the time. Like he always drunk.
Nobody
He forever
expects
drunk.
anything
And
different.
nobody
Listen, if
expects.
he not drunk, we got a problem because what's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
The
It's
first
like
thing the
it's
family gonna
wrong.
ask, you sick?
Right.
Right. It's wrong for him not to be drunk. But it's not wrong for him to be drunk. Like
Like, how backwards does that sound? Come on,
yeah.
y'all.
So weird.
Or you
So
got
weird.
auntie, every time you turn around, auntie got a new friend. Here come a new uncle. Like,
No.
why auntie got, who is this
You ain't
now?
you ain't
Like,
setting us up with the aunties today, but keep talking.
But keep talking though, because you talking good, you know?
yeah, it's
Because
like
like
and you love them, but it's a lot of things that even with coming up in a good family, you still have those things that kind of can alter your perspective, and that culture is a big thing. Especially like when you come into marriage, it's two cultures coming together. So now y'all have to cipher through like through his culture, through your culture, like what do we want to keep? Okay, all this stuff we need to throw away. Now we got to build and create our own culture for our family and do things
that was so
different.
hard for me, y'all.
Really? Why?
Because I'm the baby.
Yeah, you are.
And I have a big family, especially on my dad's side, but even my mom's side. And we get together all the time. But I married an introvert.
Does his family not get together as often? Like, is that not a thing for them?
Even with his family, he's introverted. So he'll give them a good 2 hours, and then he going, like, if they come over here, he'll give them a good 2 hours. Hey y'all, play with the kids, you know.
Throw the
And
babies
then
out there.
yeah, he does that. And I'm like, stop doing that, bro. Like, what are you doing? I don't know if you go catch that kid when they come back down. But anyway, that's something different. And so
In
he'll give
peace.
them a good 2 hours. Then he will literally excuse himself and go upstairs.
I'm not mad at that.
But in my family, you know, we talking, you know, my family drinks, so they drinking, we grilling out. That's a 5 hour event.
Or
And
more.
baby daddy, an hour or two, baby daddy, like, you ready? No, I ain't ready. What you mean?
Listen, I'm with Ash. Ash said, yeah, once that social battery runs out, listen,
Listen.
time to go.
And it's so funny because my family's like, does he not like us? No, he loves y'all.
But it's
He
time to
just
go.
he ran out of juice. He done.
See, that's how
He
we
is
are.
done.
Yeah, we part like, and it's all around. Like it's all three of them, though. Because I say all three because I'm part of a blended family. So my
Mhm.
my bonus mom's family is just I've been in around them since I was little. So it's real prominent. But yeah, we talk about the parties and everything all the time. So, but Mike's family was the same way. Like they always did, barbecue and stuff like that. So for him, when that stopped, it was kind of like, dang, we ain't family no more. Like we ain't getting together. Don't
Aw.
nobody want to cook out. We divided, and it did because once that prominent person died, it was just like everything just kind of split.
Yeah.
So there was no true foundation
Yeah.
built within the family. It was just like, okay, well, grandmama here, so we gonna keep it together. But now when grandmother, like our grandmama or granddaddy is gone, it's like the family just kind of
Separates.
goes a
Mhm.
separate way. And it's like, well, who stands up to say, hey, we still family? Like they were our matriarchs, but we're still a family. Like they didn't just unglue us because they're not here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's something I think about a lot though, because my mom is my family's matriarch. And so as my parents get older, I'm like, what is that gonna look like?
Wow.
And
Well,
so
that
and
is very different.
my parents are at the retired age. And so they just came back from New York. And so they like, what y'all gonna do? I don't know what y'all gonna do. We out of town. We outside. I'm like, y'all outside. What you mean?
Mother
Who house
Teresa
am
was
I
living
going
her
to?
best life.
Her
Okay.
best life. Listen, she was in New York a couple of weeks ago. She going to Israel in January. They going to Israel in January.
Ooh, I
Like
want to go.
they outside. Yeah, that's
I
what
definitely
because my
want to go
mom's
there.
birthday is in December, and so because my mom be wanting like preacher stuff. She be wanting Bibles that are really thick and cost like $200. So we ask early, Mama, what you want for your birthday and what you want for Christmas? Because we need to know if we need to save up, who paying for what. Like it's one of them type of things, right? And then my dad don't be wanting nothing. And so we just be confused, child. Y'all pray for my family. Because we be confused about what to get the parentals. For real. And so it was like, Mom, what do you want? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want to do? Do you want to party? Do you want to get together? Like, are we grilling out? We at the house? We going out to eat? Like, what are we doing? She's like, no, just pay for my trip to Israel. Mom, when are you going to Israel?
Wait, hold up. Y'all didn't even know the trip was being planned?
And so in this conversation, she tells us, because my mom used to be a youth pastor at a church in Decatur. And so she still talks to that pastor, whatever. And every year that pastor sponsors and goes to Israel like 3 or 4 times. And so, yeah, he does it like periodically throughout the year. And so my mom didn't go this year. She was like, I really want me and your dad to go next year. And so that's her birthday present.
Wow.
I'm like, Mama, that's all you get.
You better give her some spending money.
Do you know how much that trip is?
Don't tell me either.
It's at least $2,000.
You got it.
Me and my sister got it, and my niece, we got it.
Y'all got it.
We got it.
Y'all got it.
So as my parents get older, they out here traveling. They retired, but not retired. My parents are funny because
they have created a culture of their own, right? Like
Tiffany
was saying, they
really
created a culture that only includes them too.
Mm-hmm. So funny thing, my dad retired. Yeah, I know I said my dad works, right, a few minutes ago. My dad retired a few years ago. And he went back to work. But listen, if I ever have to retire from a job, Jesus, please don't. But if I ever have to, I want to retire like my daddy did, because he retired. They wanted, like, ever since he retired, they kept asking him to come back. He finally got bored. My mom's like, no, you need to go back to work, because all you're doing is watching Netflix and eating. You need to get out of the house. You need something to do. So he went back to work. And then there's like, you can make your own schedule. You only work the shows that you want to work. You come in when you want to. I was like, I need that.
Yes.
Give me that.
Sign me up.
Sign me up for that, please. And thank you.
That's
and so,
like
yeah, that's my... For real?
He retired. He just retired in May, so he's become a frequent Home Depot shopper. Like he's at Home Depot every day, and he don't just go to one Home Depot. If he don't find it at that Home Depot, he going to another.
He goes to multiple.
Yeah, he'll go to more than one in one day to find what he needs. And the fact of the matter that he has no more land to build anything. Like at this point, they're going to be in the alley. Like it's nothing.
Did you say they're going to be in the alley?
Yeah. I'm gonna send your uncle a list. I'm gonna send you a list to send your uncle so he can see if he can find these things for me.
He's staying Home Depot since he retired.
That is hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But that's family, right? I really like what you said about our families, like creating the culture, like the first culture
absolutely.
that we come in contact with. I think that that's so crucial, because it's the reason why, like you said, we go out into the world and we're like, we don't do it like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what you said about when the matriarch or the patriarch passes on in our family, how the family typically goes one way or the other. Like my Nana was the matriarch of our family, and we got together because it was Tuesday. Like it didn't take much to get my family together. You know what I mean? Like it didn't take much. What y'all doing? I'm about to go get some chicken and I'm going to Nana's. See you there. What time you getting there? 6. See you there. Like, and then holidays was always a big thing, even with my great grandmother. Like holidays and family gatherings has always been a thing for our family. And when my Nana passed away, we were determined to keep that going. Like as her grandchildren, we were determined not to let our families like fall apart. We knew that was a huge loss for our moms, right? My mom and her siblings. So it was up to us to hold them up during this time of transition and grief. And I think that the reason why our families start falling apart when the matriarch goes is because we are expecting, or the matriarch or the patriarch is because we're expecting their kids to uphold the culture and to uphold the tradition. When they are grieving, you are grieving too. Not
But it's
taking anything
different.
away from that, but you are like second level removed. So while they are trying to process, you know what I mean? You are too. I'm not taking anything away from that, but somebody underneath that next line of defense, that next line of family has to come and undergird them. You know what I mean? And continue to move forward. And I just remember seeing that in my cousins and in my siblings when my Nana passed away, how we were the ones, like family coming to the house or people coming to bring food or gifts and things like that. When my Nana passed, we were the ones in position to be like, boop, 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 like doing that, while our mothers and our uncles handled the arrangements, handled those kind of, you know, insurance and all those kind of things. We had to be the second line of defense. And because of that, we were able to keep, you know, our family together. Like, even though I live in Georgia, like my family still gets together. They, you know what I mean? Like everything still goes on. It's not maybe as frequent as it used to be, just because our lives have changed, our careers and things like that. But family is so important. And it could be like, I know that Ashley said in the chat, like family is not just a blood relative, right? Because not all of us have come from a family that is worth staying in. Like, let's call it spade a spade. Like sometimes we have to draw the bloodline and we say, listen, this toxic behavior, these toxic things, I don't have to entertain. But God can bring people into your lives who become your mother and your father, who become your brother and your sister. But it's so important for us to stay in community with family who love us, who respect us, who aren't yes men, you know what I mean? Like helping us along in our foolery, but they're truly helping us to grow and prosper. Like family is so, I love my family. Like I absolutely love my family. I mean, we got, you know, some that you be like, oh, John, what line of the family tree you from? You know what I mean? But then they wouldn't be family without everybody's unique sense of purpose, humor, like all of it works together. You know what I mean? It all works together, and I love it. Like I'm much closer to my mom's side of the family than my dad's side of the family. So I can't really speak that way. Not that I don't. But I'm much closer to my mom's side of the family, and we lit. Like we don't, nobody else needs to come to our parties. Like you,
that's how my family is. That's how my family is. Like it just be family. Like if we invite people, we'll pull up a chair for you, but I mean it's not much space. Yeah, absolutely.
But if y'all don't come, the show is still gonna go on.
Like even without other people, it could be 20 of us at my mama's house at any given time.
And let me tell you, like, so family, let me like an example of how amazing family is, right? So, and how it continues, like based on what the next line, I keep saying the line of defense, the next level in the family, right? You set the standard for what your children are going to do, right? So it's funny because I have two sisters and a brother, and all of our kids, except for my oldest son, AJ, right? Because another story for another day. He was born, child. I was like 7. Not really. I don't want anybody to think that.
You was out in them streets a little bit.
I was not. Don't be telling those people that.
I said a little bit.
No, I wasn't. The funny thing is, I wasn't at all. No part.
You wasn't?
No part. Not one part. I went down the rabbit hole and was trying to see what other people was doing. See, but I wasn't in the streets.
So you've been doing that for a long time.
The streets were never for me. Like, honestly, never. Y'all know I'd be in the bed at 9. Y'all was up at 11 o'clock with Auntie Vet last night. You see what it means to love family?
But next time you talk to her, tell her I said, hey.
I will. That next line of defense. So because of what we've established, our kids are the same way. Like I have cousins who are like siblings to me, and our kids have come up the same way. And so we were going to Connecticut. Our family knew we were coming to Connecticut, but they had no idea that CJ was with us coming to Connecticut. So we are trying to surprise them with CJ being there, and his cousins pulled up on him on the street. Okay, in Connecticut. Why? Because of the culture that they have built as cousins. They share location with each other. Now, they aren't expecting him to be there, but they happened to look at his location and was like,
Wow.
this says he's
He
here.
down the street.
They pulled up on him. Do you hear me? They ain't text him and be like, you in Connecticut? Nothing. They just pulled up. Because either somebody stole his phone and brought it to Connecticut, right? And now they know who you are, or you here. And now we know where you are. And they literally pulled up because of the culture we have established that we family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we together, and wherever you are, we are. And it was the funniest thing because they call me and he's like, Mom, they found me. They found, like, who found you? What are you talking about? He's like, Jada and Trayana, they're here. Like, they pulled up on me. Me and Dad are standing on the street and they just pull up. And I was like, how did they find you? How did they know you were here? And he was like, we share locations. My locations was on. And they found me. And
that is hilarious.
It's the community that we built and the bond that we built as family that, you know, when they see each other, they not like, God, here they come. You know, it's like cousin, you know, like Tupac was. But I love family.
Think about culture. Like, if you want to, like, really just test people's culture and their family, ask them how they play Uno.
Oh, you start in trouble.
It's about 50 million ways to play Uno, child.
It's because of your family. Because your family, whoever started the game taught you this is how we play Uno. So it's your family. This how my family do it. Like, this how we play. So when they say this how we play because this is how my family plays Uno.
But see, our kids introduced a new way, the stacking and all these things. I'm like, we ain't never play like that. We don't know what y'all doing. We don't do that.
Your family, we never played like that,
right?
Because people be like, I don't know about that new Uno. I just want that old Uno.
And then the funny thing is, when they read the directions on Uno, they be like, oh, I'll play like that. Bruh, Uno made the game.
Yo, okay. So do you know we literally just went through that like months ago playing Sorry? Like, there is instruction on Sorry cards. Like, did y'all know that if you pull a Sorry card, but you don't have any men at start to Sorry with, that you still move forward for? It's on the Sorry card, right? These are things that you never look at. But me being me, going down a rabbit hole one day, I'm like reading the instructions and everything, and I'm like, I've been missing out on turns. You know, when you get into your safety zone, you always need 4, but 4 always move you backwards, right? So, but Sorry moves you forward 4. If you don't have a man at start to Sorry somebody.
I did not know that.
Now, that didn't go well with my family. Okay, with my husband and my son, the young girl, they was like, no, we're not doing that. But guess who do it now? It is now a part of our culture. So if you come to our house and you playing Sorry and you wonder why we moving forward, baby, because your girl read the directions.
Well, you know, on Uno, you can challenge people when they put a draw 4 and draw 2. You can challenge them. It's in the rules.
Really?
Oh, yes, that is in the rules.
Them.
It absolutely is.
If you feel like they have the card, they have the color or or a number that they can put down instead of their draw 4 or draw 2, you can challenge them. Yep. And if you challenge them and if you win the challenge, then they end up getting like 4 or 5 more cards.
Yep. Yeah, I read that in Uno. Yep.
See, I'm the bylaw queen because I have it. And I say, what you say?
I challenge
penal
you.
Code 278.
Not the penal code. No, not the
According to the penal code.
Uno. Because Uno is law. Like, for real, it's law. It is law. It is law. Now, I mean, well, this is Christian Black girl. So in the Black family, their Uno rule, that's law.
It's law.
That is law.
It is what it is.
And don't get started on family with space. Like, that's what I love about family, because we have moments that we all come together, like, universally as family and do. Like spades. Now, I just learned how to play spades when I moved to Georgia.
I know how to play spades, but ask me if I'm playing with my daddy and them. Absolutely not.
No, there are some tables you don't sit down at. Like, you already know that. I went to Alabama with my sister Jamila, right? Now, her mother and her aunt are these spades queens, baby. If you sit down at a table with them, you better know how to play. And it's so beautiful when you get invited to other families, like you were saying, Tiff, to see how they do things. Baby, her mother threw a 3 of clubs on the table. I mean, you would have thought she had the big joker. She took that 3 of clubs and was like, Bow. I mean, I literally was like, oh, then I looked, I was like, a 3 of clubs. But guess what her partner did? Came and cleaned that whole book up. She was like, I knew if I ain't have it, I could be confident that my partner did. Like, you don't sit down in everybody's space table. Because I'm not.
Oh, she was serious about that thing.
I'm sliding at 3 o'clock and looking at my partner like, sorry. You know, everybody playing spades, and I got a 3 o'clock. I'm just like, sorry. But baby, she knew her partner had her. Babe, listen, you don't sit down at everybody Uno table or spades table. Not in the Brown family.
I can't. My brother, Mike's god brother was trying to teach me how to play spades, and the fact of the matter that it was stressing my mind, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this.
It was stressing. So
he kept teaching me, but I had checked out probably like 1 game ago, and he was like, "Sis, you got it." I'm like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, you ready to
I'm gonna tell you to keep going, Tiff. Keep going, because then listen, there are conversations that happen at the spades table that everybody ain't privy to.
Oh yeah,
listen.
You get some tea. You get some whole tea at the spades table.
Look, with your card.
So that's why I sit at the spades table, but I don't play. Like, y'all can play. I'm just here for the information. Okay.
You get all the tea at the spades table. Like, so seriously, you get all the tea.
Listen, that's a culture within itself.
Listen, the spades table by itself is its own culture. That's
a like subset of family. That's like family within the family when it comes to spades. They already know who their partners are. No, they don't want to play with you. If you don't really know how to play, don't sit down at this table, little girl. You know what I mean? Like,
see, my dad's side and my bonus mom side, they domino players.
See, my dad's both. My dad is both.
My granddaddy got arrested. So like my bonus mom's dad, so granddaddy, he would like play dominoes, and he was the one that always wanted us to be together. So he would go and like probably buy like 6 or 7 slabs of ribs and call everybody, I got some ribs over here, y'all, to come over and cook them. So he wanted.
Maybe I would have been dragging the kids behind me. Get in the car!
But yeah, he wanted his family of like, they wanted a family around him. So like, but when he would play dominoes, if he losing or something, he'd be the first person to put everybody out. And I ain't talking about like y'all got to get out. Like literally, he packing up.
Oh, granddaddy said, y'all finna beat me. Everybody get out.
He taking it inside the house, and literally by the time you probably gather your kids to even think you finna go in the house, he done locked the door, the screen door, and everything. You can't get in. He said, "Go home." He mad.
Granddaddy
like hilarious. A week later, well, you know, I went and got some more ribs that was on sale.
And everybody's still coming back, right?
We come back.
Even though y'all just
invited back now, granddaddy. Okay.
That's family for you. He done kicked you out, packed up the food, so you can't even take a rib plate to go.
Nothing home. Or he'll call he'll call his like my bonus mom, she's the baby. So of course he'll call her. Well, y'all want some of these ribs over here? We still got some of these ribs. Y'all come over here and call your sisters and tell them come get these ribs.
Because the baby can always bring everybody back together again. If nobody can do it, the baby of the family can get everybody together.
So listen,
that's
1 year my mom said she wasn't cooking because we literally get together and cook out every single holiday: 4th of July, Juneteenth, Labor Day, Memorial Day, Easter. Like we finna eat at the house, okay? And so one of these holidays, my mom was like, "Nah, we ain't cooking." And I was like, "What you mean you ain't cooking? Where am I gonna eat?"
She was like, "I don't know.
You gotta fix it."
That's what she said. She said, "It ain't my problem." What you mean?
What was the holiday that your mom played me? Like we had some. I think we were going to Alabama.
I think it was either Juneteenth or 4th of July. It was something I can't remember.
And Miss Mother Teresa, I'm on the phone with Jerry, and Mother Teresa's like, yeah, because we got ribs and we got chicken and we got brisket and we got banana pudding and we got key lime cake and I was like, Mother Teresa, she was like, yeah, I'm just letting you know what you missing. And I was like, ma'am, you know what? But when your friends become family, you get invited into you extend your family. You know what I mean? You extend your community. Ash says she's never experienced that. Yeah, but like having family, and I think that as we become adults, it's literally something that we can take ownership of,
Yeah.
because like you said, Tiffany, there's unity, there's safety, there's protection, there's identity, there's a sense of belonging when we have families. And yes, granted, no family is ideal. Everybody got a drunk uncle, or or something. There's something in everybody's family that you kind of want to hide. But I think that as we become adults, thanking God for our family, because he said even all that would work together for our good because we
Yeah.
love him. But being able to extend across the aisle, like get to meet your friend's family. Like if that's your girl, like your girl, and you love her and she invites you to the cookout, go, right?
Yeah.
Go to the cookout. It may not be, you could go on a major holiday when your family is doing something, but it could be Flag Day. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? Or because it's Saturday, or you didn't have any plans for Father's Day, and Tiffany said, hey, my family is doing this, like you guys are welcome. Go, because you just never know how going into somebody else's family, you can pick up nuggets to bring back to your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when we went to Alabama the first time, Jamila's aunt Rhoda made pasta salad. And my mother is the pasta salad queen in our family. And everybody, no matter the occasion, they're always like, Ma, Auntie Sherry, sis, you bringing it, And when I tasted her Aunt Rhoda's pasta salad, I was like, oh my gosh, it tastes like my mom's.
Oh.
And it was just that sense of like, we are closer than we really are apart. You know what I mean? Like we are closer. And that gave me a sense of home. And I was like, okay. And then her family, like when they call her, they check on our family. Like, hey, how they doing? And the same with my family. When they call, how are they doing? Like when my sisters call, they like, hey, how's Jerry? How's Tiffany? Because they know who have become my family. So y'all know, y'all both met my mom and my sister, they become like, you belong to them now. So you can't see my mother again and not be like, Mama Cheryl, because she'll be like, oh, you acting brand new? Like you don't know me anymore. Like you don't have that opportunity, because once my family engrafts you, you family.
That's how my family is, like for real. Like every time I talk to my mom, she asks about you. How's Takesha? She's fine, Mom. Has she moved in the house yet? No, Mom. I have to give a whole report on you every time my mama calls
because
me.
your mother loves me.
Yeah, my mama does love you for real.
She loves me so much so that she told me on what I was missing out, and I was like, Mother Teresa.
She did tell you that. She did.
Shantae scared me the first time I met her.
Really? Why?
Because I'm about this whole people coming into my space kind of situation. So when I see her at the conference,
go back and listen to Friends episodes. You will know what Tiffany's talking about.
Yeah.
Look, when I was at the conference, and she came up to, she's like, oh, my RTA sister, because we're part of the prayer group. And I was like, whoa, like,
not whoa.
RTA is real. Now that's a family.
What's your cousin Cheryl was there too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because she turned around, she said, cousin Cheryl, this is Tiffany. This is Tiffany Dillon. I was like, whoa. This is too much at one time. Easy. But it was embracing, and then we, got, because I think it was a conference coming up, and she was like, Shantae was like, let me know if you're going, because we can get a hotel together. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, ma'am, I do not even know you. I'm not staying no room with family. I don't know. Like, family. Yeah,
that
but
is
we
so
got
funny.
to know each other, just getting to know her more. I'm like, okay, like and that really kind of helped me break out of my shell and break out of that. Like God was like, look, you want to be connected to people more than just your family, because it's been my circle. But like when we moved to Georgia, I had to take on people that was not my family. And like my husband, he has his guy family, so they became my family. So like meeting his godmother was like, because she raised him for like he lived with them for like 2 years, but she was always in his life. But meeting her was like me. I felt like I was meeting my mother-in-law again. I was nervous, and I had to meet, Papa Takus, and so they from New Orleans. So I'm like, oh, okay, we got a little, foundation, because both sides of my family are from Louisiana.
Oh,
and so that broke me out of the shell. But when I first met them, it was just like, whoa, wait a minute. Like,
Like Tiffany's
she's
like,
like,
this
Mama
is
Cheryl, come
too
in here.
much.
I'm like, wait
This
a
is too
minute,
much.
hold on. Like,
They look,
but-
as Cope has to
but-
say, the word had gone out about you, okay?
yeah, and then this is like you gotta be open to allow other people in that's on the outside, you know, because sometimes you can close yourself off and be like, okay, I'm only gonna deal with my family, but you never know what God has put in that other family for you to
Absolutely.
help you, you know what I'm saying, through your journey or through a situation, a circumstance you may be going through that your family may not have the capacity to give you.
Ooh,
And I
that's
learned
good.
that, you know what I'm saying, from like with my husband, because there was a time and space in his life to where his godmother and their family gave him something that he was yearning for and that his family at the time was not able to give him at that time.
Mhm.
And so he still was able to still have faith in family because they took him in. And they didn't take him in like, okay, well, you know, Francis' son. No, Mama Brenda will literally nuck if she buck at my actual mother-in-law when it comes to Michael. Like
That
she never
is
played like that's
funny.
her son. Like
Yeah.
she's like that's when she talks about how many kids she has, she's like, I have 4 kids, and he's one of them. He's like, she was
Wow.
like, he's the right before the baby because they have a daughter. So Shonda is, and then it's like it's BJ, Chris, Mike, and then Shonda.
He's
And
in
then
the
that's her
lineup.
kids. And then her sister took him on. She was like, well, that's my baby too. And so it's like he has literally like 2 mamas because they literally, and they're sisters, and they would be like, no, that's my son. So she has 4 boys. So in her family, he's the second to the oldest. So, or is he the oldest? No, he's the second to the oldest because Stump is the oldest. Then it's with her, it's Stump, Mike, then Steven, and then the baby is Michael too. So it's like they gave him that community, they gave him that family love that he wouldn't, you know, get. He wasn't able to get from his family, and they took him on. So he was not without family. And so it's like when you was talking about like, you know, your friend and like Jerry's mom, you know, sometimes we'll be like, oh no, I don't want to like deal with nobody else's family because it's like it's a lot to deal with my own, but you may be missing out on something that God is saying, I have a gift over here with you within this family, so you can be able to I got a void filler, and they're the family that can fill it because
Got
you're
a
not
void filler. That's
you're
good.
not you can
Tiffany.
receive that from them. Your family not, because sometimes our family's not able to give us everything. They have a cap. You know, like our parents are not able to give anything beyond of what they've learned until they're exposed to different things, and then they can kind of, you know, be a little bit more broader. But you know, you don't want to cut yourself off. And that's why at first I used to kind of feel a certain type of way because I didn't know what it felt like of having my mom and my dad staying in the same house. I didn't know what that 2-parent home, and I'm with my original parents. I've always been in a blended family, and always at a young age. But when I think about it now, it was like when I think about the families that I'm still connected to, and the families, well, I'm still connected to all of them because, you know, it's like everybody gave me a little piece of something. And even if it was something bad, it was like, okay, I'm showing you what not to do, how not to handle it, and how to do this or how to do that. And you pick up a lot of things from the different people that God has placed in your life because they are there to sow seed. And then, of course, you know, God will bring whoever's next to water. And then, like he said, he'll bring the increase. But you don't want to close yourself off from being loved by other people outside of your family so that you can receive what God has for you, because they have something for you. So they're not in your life for no reason. And then you may be a part of a family to expose and break generational curses in their family. So sometimes when people come from the outside looking in, you be like, because when I met, you know, my in-laws, I would be sitting back and I'd be like, wait a minute. What?
And
like,
the second is your face did all of that in their presence.
Yeah. What is going on over here? And then I would have a sidebar conversation with my husband. Because I'm like, what they doing? And he was like, okay, hold on, we gotta talk. And I'll be asking questions. I'm like, Keisha, hold on, you gotta break some stuff down for me. But then when he came to my family, he was like, y'all over here living like the Huxtables. I'm like, we from the hood, bro. What you talking about? We from Oak Cliff. We know Huxtables.
Not we from Oak Cliff. Not we from Oak Cliff.
We not clipping them. Not clipping them. Like y'all the Huxtables. And to the point to where he kind of felt like I can't do anything because I don't want to do anything wrong. And they be like, hey, Mike, what you doing, boy? Get one of these cigars. You want one of these beers? And then he was like, yeah, like real kind of shy. And he not shy. And I'm like, you can be yourself. We're not perfect, but being exposed to my family helped him to see like, oh, okay.
Things can be different.
It doesn't have to be the same way. And me going into his family, me looking in, like from the outside looking in and being a part of it, there is love there. There is wholeness there. But it's just, you can tell at some point in any family, it's like, okay, somebody was doing something a certain way and we all kind of picked it up and just felt like, oh, okay, nobody's telling us it's not okay.
Yeah.
And you come in, you be like, no, we can do this differently. No, that's not the way to do it. But now you get into a bloodline and like God is like, okay, now you in the midst of this family, now I need you to start praying against this. And you're like, oh, okay. Because at the end of the day, they're still your family.
They are.
Absolutely. I know when I'm sorry, Tiff, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. I
was just gonna say, I know when me and Douglas got married, like my husband gained a whole dad in my dad. Because my husband's dad is alive, but they don't have a relationship. And so he called, like, whenever he see my dad, you would think that's his daddy for real. He'd be like, hey, Pops, how you doing? They be having whole conversations. They be going down in the basement. They got drinks. They be having whole conversations just about
They be having father and son time.
Yes. I'd be like, but that's my daddy, though. Like, what you doing?
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's what I be feeling like with my granny. Like, my granny.
Child.
My granny gave my daddy and my uncle, like, he's like that with my dad, too. But my granny, because, like, that's my heart. She found out when Mike came to visit with me, and she had like these oatmeal, the little Family Dollar oatmeal cookies with the little icing on it. She would fill her cookie jar with that up. So one, I felt real disrespected. So I'm like, for all my life, baby, you've been keeping Chips Ahoy in this cookie jar. Why in the world is there oatmeal? So, that's a whole nother situation. But
you done switched up on Tim.
He went to the cookie jar. He went to this cookie jar he was like, oh, great, I love these cookies. And it was like a bing went off. So in her head. So my dad and my uncle were going to a motorcycle rally, but it was in Georgia. Do you know that she sent my husband 4 packs of those cookies and called them the whole entire way she was there? Where y'all at? Well, make sure y'all get Mikey's cookies. Until the point of when they got there. And my uncle was like, let me call your granny right now because she's still up. And this was 11 o'clock. Now, this is a woman that'll be in bed by 6. She was
my kind of girl.
At 11 o'clock.
Oh, Granny said, I'm finna wait up for this.
To make sure. And she had to talk to Mike because even though my uncle was like, we hear Mama, you know what I'm saying? We stopped at Tiffany so we can rest or whatever. But Mike got his cookies. Let me speak to him.
She needed to
get your cookies. He just told. He just told him that. Your son just said
that wasn't good enough.
The boy got his cookies. She was like, no, she wanted to hear from him. Thank you, Granny. And I felt some type of way. So I know how you feel, Jerry. Because I was like, wait.
No, listen. With my grandma, it gets worse. One day, because my grandma, she live out in the country. And y'all, when I say country, I mean dirt roads and gravel roads and trailers.
Oh, Lord, no.
Like, I was just in the country the other week, and I need to get my car washed because it's still dirt on my car, and it done rained in Atlanta a few times since then, right?
Heavy rain.
but my car still needs to get washed, right? And so we went out to the country for something. I can't remember what we were out there for. It was a few years ago. And my grandma opened the door. Douglas, grandma, I'm right here.
Excuse me?
You ain't matter. You ain't matter.
Grandma,
You ain't matter.
is that Douglas? Hey, grandma, it's Jerry. Hey, grandma.
Hey, grandma.
Douglas, come get me, grandma.
That's how Uncle Alex was, Auntie Yvette husband with Chris. Child, please. I'm like, I'm your niece. You know that, right?
Like,
Oh, they when it comes
Christmas.
to him with my grandmama, because like my granny on my dad's side and my bonus mom's mom, they're deceased. So I got my mom's grandmother now, and literally they all three of them. You gonna get up and fix Michael a plate? He look hungry. I'm like, he could if he wants something, he gonna tell me. Well, just fix him a plate anyways, and just put it on the side because he look hungry. Fix him, you got him. You took care of your husband. Yeah, yes. Do you need something? Because make sure you got something to drink. Make sure you give him a fork. Yes.
Girl, I would be like, Granny, like my Nana, like on my dad's side or my mom's side, and my husband's grandparents are no longer with us either. So I don't have my grandparents, but my mother is that way. Son, like, it's always son. I don't even think she know his name is Chris, but she would call him son, do you need anything, son? And I'm like, sis, find a seat. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm telling you, and I think that's the beauty of family when they accept our husbands as family, because that bridge becomes so much easier because like we pick up things within our families, ways of doing things, but then when we start building our own family, we add some things, we change some things, we keep some things, right? And I think that that's the beauty of legacy continuing on. I think Ashley said that about like family is the legacy we keep building on. Yeah. And it changes throughout, the generations. Things are changing. The Uno rules change. You know what I mean? But we always have a foundation of love and support, whether it's the family you were born into, a family you were adopted into, but the family who has loved you. You know what I mean? And I think that foundation of love and support and respect is so important. Having a foundation where crap or mess is not tolerated. Like we're not covering up for uncle's, hands and being, too touchy-feely. No, you got to go. We're not bringing our kids around you.
Invited to the house ever again.
You're not invited. Okay, go get some deliverance and some counseling, and you still won't be left in the room with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like we being mindful that as we begin to build our families and build legacy and build culture and building families that our kids want to bring their friends into. You know what I mean? That we look at those blind spots that other people can come in. Like when you went into Mike's family, you're like, whoa. Like when people may have come into your family, they're like, whoa. You know what I mean? Or come into ours, they're like, wait, slow down. Y'all ain't gonna speed past that. Like y'all ain't just do that. You know what I mean? We get to like have our blind spots looked at so that as we're building our family, we know what kind of culture we want to create. We like one of the things like in our families, I don't know if it was in y'all's, but kids didn't have an opportunity to say nothing. Like it ain't no, I got an opinion. It ain't no, but wait, there's more. No, what our parents said or our grannies, my nana, my papa, my aunts, my uncles, like our aunts and uncles had authority over us as if they were my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no, like the same respect that I gave my mama, I gave it to my aunts and gave it to my uncles. You know what I mean? Because they had the opportunity to nuck if you buck if I got out of line,
Right.
But what the culture that I wanted to have in my family when I had my children is that there's more, right? I may have said no to something, but my kids also are entitled to be angry about it. They can have emotion about my decision. They can absolutely not like my decision.
And they can ask questions.
They can ask questions. But that was not tolerated. And for the longest time, yes, Ashley, no more covering drama, right? Trauma. We have a legacy of healing, period. But like when my kids started growing up, especially our oldest son, AJ, AJ is the one that there has to be an explanation behind your no. Like you can't tell him no with no evidence, no proof, no scientific, no spiritual.
Right.
Like
So
you can't.
AJ is one of them kids where
But
because I
why?
said it's not gonna fly.
I'm a
But
see for
why?
myself, right? The AJ is the I'm a see for myself kind of kid. And so as he was growing up, I gave him free reign to ask me anything. I didn't care what it was about because I never wanted him to go out and learn something from somebody else. So he get to ask me questions of, "Mommy, why can't I stay at my friend's house?" Well, let me break it down to you, right? Why can't I do this? Why did you say no to this? Why is this and why is that? But my mother took it as disrespect. And she took it as, you just let him say anything to you. I'm like, it sounds like anything to you because you didn't have the freedom to ask, right? You didn't have the freedom to have a feeling, a thought, a nothing, because our emotions were kind of weaponized against us. I don't know if that happened in your families, but like why can't I be disappointed? You told me no, I can't go hang out with my friends. Am I supposed to be happy about that? But disappointment was looked at as disrespect. You don't get to be sad because I said no. I said no, and that's that. Eat it, right? But with my children, I knew that was not legacy that I was
That's
going to.
not how you wanted to raise them.
Absolutely.
So that's actually changing in my family. So like me, so I have 5 nieces and nephews. I am only 5 years older than my oldest niece. So we grew up like cousins, right? And so she's 32. I'll be 37 this year. That just tells you, right? So I've never been called auntie a day in my life other than the great niece and the great nephew, right? And so my oldest niece, she has a son, Roman. Roman is the golden child. Roman then changed my parents for the better because Roman get anything he want. Like, listen, he was at the house the other day with my mom and dad. And so they have this rule. This is the craziest rule I have ever heard. But if he goes to the bathroom, he gets chocolate. And so Roman comes out the bathroom. Papa, I went to the bathroom. Can I have my chocolate now? It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
And then your daddy gonna give him that chocolate.
Oh, what? Yes. And so, it used to be we couldn't ask no questions. Listen, Roman is gonna run the world one day. Him and Skylar, they're going to run the world, probably together, because they are the smartest little kids I have ever met. And so Roman asked a lot of questions. Well, why, mommy? He calls my mama Gigi. But Gigi, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Papa, where's my, so my dad has like the toy limo. It's Roman's limo. It just lives in my parents' house. Okay. It's like this big. And so every time he comes, like he done broke the door off the limo, but he loves that thing, right? And so the other day he was at the house, he randomly asked for the limo. Like it just be random. Like he just got finished eating breakfast. Now you want to find the black limo so
chocolate
you can
and
play
limos.
Chocolate and listen. And what did my daddy do? Took him down to the basement to go find the limo. Like, Daddy, you would not have done that to me. You would just told me you didn't know where it was, sir.
Now he gonna grow up and he gonna get a wife, and his wife gonna be like, why you coming out the bathroom eating chocolate?
Because that's the legacy that I was born into. Okay.
Yes. Because listen, Roman, you go to the bathroom, you did it successfully, you get a piece of chocolate, you get some candy. Like, what kind of rule is this?
But you know what? They have got they get soft.
Yes.
They get real soft with these.
My parents have got the soft
because when like my bonus mom was like cutthroat, I ain't got time. You keep on, I'm a fuss, and then you're gonna get a whooping type person.
Yeah.
With my nephew, it's like when she said, "Well, sometimes you gotta pick your battles." What?
I was the battle, sis. Listen, me breathing hard was the battle.
Exactly.
Like your battles.
Mama done bought a bouncy house.
Child, they
like
get
this what y'all doing.
But I have to say that because like I had my first son when I was 16 and we are a blended family as well. And my husband had his 2 oldest daughters young as well. So our kids are old enough to be married and have their own children, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a very different place with the grandchildren. I'm not gonna lie. It is a very different place, but I think because of the culture and the family that my husband and I created for our kids as we were building our family together, that I can see that they've now taken it to the next level. You know what I mean? Like they have order and structure in their families. Like you can't call our kids at 8 o'clock and be like, we just want to talk to the grandkids. They be like, who? They've been asleep for an hour. They took it to the level where the structure we didn't have is 9 o'clock, and I'm still like, get in the shower. You know what I mean? Like, and go to bed. You got school. Maybe their kids are fed, bathed, in the bed, asleep. So they have a structure going on, but it is an absolutely different place and space with the grandchildren. It's just,
I mean, I just feel some type of way though.
I get it because we have a granddaughter and a grandson, and then we just found out we're gonna have two more, another granddaughter and a grand. No, do we know about the other child? We don't know about the other child yet, but but Jaden, like he just his story with his nickname and not want to be called Scooter. That would stick. That would be something that I would kind of. I think I would preach on that.
you will. You
Because-
will.
Oh, you will. You said it
that
right the
would-
first
that-
time. I just want you to know that you didn't misspeak. I'm just saying.
well,
I caught
yeah,
that.
Okay. Yeah, but that
Tiffany's like, good one. Good one.
Good one.
that right there would live with me forever. Because when I say this child was like, I don't know who y'all talking to, because I don't know no Scooter in this room
At all.
I know a Jaden.
That's
No,
all we got here.
I know him, but I don't know no Scooter. And
But it's different, right? Than raising your boys. It is so different.
because I even see the softness with my husband, but then I also see the joy that he has because he's getting to be in certain stages in Jaden's life. And there were times to where he couldn't be as what he wanted to be for all of them, except for like the baby boy. But just to see that it's like he looks at it like I'm getting my start again, with Jaden, because he literally like he would look at a picture with everybody and like, who is this? Oh, he see Papa, like, well, baby, the Nana's in there, your daddy's in the picture, your two uncles is in there. You don't see nobody.
Oh yeah, it don't matter.
Sorry. Let me tell you. So, our oldest son AJ, the youngest boys, he has 3 sons: Alex, Nazir, and Hazen. When Hazen,
can we just talk about your son naming these boys? I love their names.
Child.
Their names are so unique.
When Nas and Hazen see Pop, this is what they do. I'd be like, I'm in the phone and I'm like, hi guys, hi babies, I love you. And they like this in the camera. Where's Pop? And I'm like, here's Pop. And I turn the phone and they be like, what's that? Like that's literally what they do. As soon as they get on the phone, they see their Pop. They're like, what's that? Because he has been doing that to them since they were born. So now, what do? They looking for Pop. What? I'm
like, hey y'all, like I'm
still here.
You're not animated enough.
Even the girls, even our granddaughters, like our youngest grandson Carter and our oldest grandson Khalil. Like Khalil is the oldest of the tribe, so he is our heart. You know what I mean? Like we can talk to him and have like whole conversations. And the babies, it's just kind of like, we call them the babies. They're like 4 and 3 now, right? But I'm still like, even the girls, our granddaughters, they looking for Pop. Where he at? Pop, I'm going to the mall, right? And this is me on the side. Send them some money so they can go to the mall. And he looking at me like, they didn't ask for no money. But our granddaughter, Rollin, just turned 4, and she wanted this truck. And I'm like, they too young to know how to send lists. Like,
no, they're not.
My nephew has already told me. He said, Annie, can you buy me a car like yours? Because I want to do the boop boop and the where it turn on. He said, I want to do that. And I said, well, why Annie got to buy it? He said, cuz.
They'll listen. They know where the money at. Wait, what was that guy that had that video? Where the money reside? They know where the money reside. They know where the money resides, baby. But this was such a
Oh
great
God,
conversation.
this
I'm so
was a
glad that
great
we got to
episode,
share
y'all.
our
We just wanted,
families.
we wanted to come and talk about family because family is absolutely important to the body of Christ, to God's kingdom, because the original intent was always for family to be together. So we just wanted to come have an episode about family. It was a mini family reunion for all of us, just to talk about family and just to let you know that sometimes family can be dysfunctional and toxic. And I know there's a trend on TikTok that has there's a whole section of TikTok of people talking about how they don't like their families, or that they are estranged from their families. And I understand it. However, ask God. God is a restorer. Like, we got to understand that God really is a restorer, and he can restore any relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a family relationship. It doesn't matter if it's family. It doesn't matter if it's romantic. God is a restorer. And so if you find yourself estranged from your family, ask God what you need to do. Ask God if it's something that you did. Maybe it's some boundaries that need to be set. Maybe it's like full restoration that needs to happen. But God loves us so much that he can do that. He loves us so much that he will restore your family if it's in his will. And so don't I know TikTok is popular, and TikTok be having a lot going on, but just because there are people on TikTok talking about how they are happy to be estranged from their family members, or whatever the case is, you do not have to take on that position. You do not have to take on the position that it is good to be estranged from your family, because it breaks God's heart. It breaks my heart, but it breaks God's heart when families can't or won't get it together. And so if you find yourself estranged, if you find yourself, in a situation where, family is kind of a touchy subject, or whatever the case is, pray and ask God to help you in the area. Pray and ask God to heal your heart from whatever happened. Not saying that what happened to you doesn't matter. Not saying that what happened to you isn't important, but what I am saying is that the healing part, that's on you, sis. That is all you have to heal, whether it's trauma, whether it's drama, whatever the case is. If it's drama and not trauma, deal with that. Okay. If it was on your part, deal with it. Ask God to help you, to give you a strategy on how to deal with that, so that your family can begin to heal and your family can begin to come back together. But we love y'all so much. We thank y'all for rocking with us for another episode of your favorite international podcast, Dear Christian Black Girl. We are back. We love y'all so much. We will see y'all next week. Now, here are a few announcements.
If you let us know how you play Uno before the announcement.
Yes, let us know. How do you play Uno? We need to know.
And doubles.
We need to know how do y'all play Uno? Like, what's the rule in what's the Uno culture at your house? Like, what does that look like? We want to know. Let us know how y'all play Uno. Do you follow directions on the box? Did you make up your own rules? Like, what are y'all out here going rogue on Uno? Like, let us know. Let us know.
You stacking, you challenging. What y'all doing?
Like, what are y'all doing? But in addition to that announcement, so I know that originally, we started off on Clubhouse. We are phasing Clubhouse out, not because we don't love y'all, but so listen, I am the producer. I am the editor. I'm the social media person.
By choice. Now.
No.
You got to teach me.
We've had this conversation.
I downloaded the app.
I ain't even volunteered. I ain't gonna lie.
You are all the things. You are all
and
the
so
things.
It's a lot. So if y'all could see my setup, you be like, Jerry, you got a lot going on.
She does.
Because it's lights, it's cameras, it's a whole thing. But it's a lot. Right, lights, camera, action, right? It's a lot to stream on YouTube and to do Clubhouse at the same time. And so we are kind of going to phase out Clubhouse.
Not kind of.
We
are.
are going
We are
to
going
phase
to phase
out
out Clubhouse.
we are going to phase out Clubhouse simply because I be forgetting to close out Clubhouse when we done. It just be a lot.
And you can get
And
the audio part on any platform.
yes,
Any
like
podcast
if you're on
platform.
Spotify, Apple, Google, all the things, like it is. Melissa said we're a spade playing family, no Uno in my family. Okay,
Listen,
Melissa.
drop the spades. Now, do
Listen.
y'all do Joker, Deuce of Diamond, Deuce of Spade, or do you just do Joker, Deuce of Spade, no Deuce of Diamond? Like, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know how y'all be playing
How
y'all
y'all
cards
play
at your
spades.
family. Like what y'all be doing?
Yes.
So listen, I don't play spades because my daddy, child, listen, he finna
You ain't
get
about
me in
that life?
trouble. I'm not finna get fussed out because I don't know how to play.
Nah.
Nope, not doing it.
Ain't
But
worth
we
it.
are phasing out Clubhouse simply because we want a more streamlined and a better experience for you. And so starting next week, there won't be any Clubhouse, but we are live on YouTube. So we'll still be live on YouTube for the time being. We're live on YouTube. YouTube is not going away. We just got on YouTube. So YouTube is not going away. Okay. So we are on YouTube every Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't do YouTube, if you can't catch us live, go back. It's on our YouTube channel. Go back and look at the stuff. Or if you're like, I just really want the audio, Spotify, Apple, Google, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And there's one more I can't remember. But yeah, you can like our content is there. What's wrong?
I was trying to think. Spotify, Google, Apple.
I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. That's enough.
It is.
We out there. We outside.
And so you can listen on Spotify, Apple, and Google the day after by 12 noon. So all our episodes are up. You know, if you don't want to watch us, you can always listen. But yeah, so we're kind of doing that. We're gonna have some more stuff rolling out over the next couple of months. But yeah, we love y'all. Y'all listen, y'all been rocking with us since day one, and we love y'all.
We absolutely love y'all. We appreciate your support and for you being here. Jerry, don't forget to tell the people about your Clubhouse room. Tiffany, don't forget to tell the people about your Monday night room on Clubhouse so they can stay connected.
Yes. So before I do that, can we just celebrate a little bit? Dear Christian Black Girl has our all-time plays. Y'all ready for this number? Are you ready? 5,000.
We hit the 5K mark.
5,414 all-time plays.
We hit 5K. We need to have
that's amazing. That's a post. We need to post that.
Our audience size is 260 in the last 7 days.
Oh wow.
We're growing.
Our Spotify followers, I didn't even know we had Spotify followers, but our Spotify followers is 229.
Shut your mouth.
You ready for the plays per episode on average? And this does not include YouTube. Plays per episode 163.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Like,
you, God.
I did in my parents' kitchen while we was on FaceTime. Produce that.
It's growing.
So y'all, the episode from last week, strategies for kingdom entrepreneurs. So listen, if you are a kingdom entrepreneur, I need you to go back and watch last week's episode.
Yeah, that episode was good.
That episode, I got real transparent. They came for me, y'all. I'm just saying.
The
But no,
bogus business
seriously.
owner.
I was like, listen, I was honest. I was a bogus.
You were. That
business
was
owner.
honest. Yes.
Yeah, I was, because my thing is like we don't see the loads of entrepreneurship, right? We just see you making 6 figures in a month. That's all we see on Facebook and Instagram. No, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I was bogus. I had to do some refunds. I was bogus, and so if you haven't listened to that episode has 128 plays.
Amen. Amen. I'm so grateful to God for that growth, that organic growth.
God
you know
is,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the main thing. It's organic. It ain't
Yeah.
that we
don't do paid promotions. We don't do any of that. And so we love y'all so much. We thank y'all for rocking with us. We thank y'all for, supporting the podcast. Make sure that you follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Dear Christian Black Girl. Make sure that if you just happen to come across this video and you're like, oh, this is interesting. If you like us, make sure that you subscribe.
Yes.
To the channel, and make sure that you go back and watch the other episodes, because they are good. Like, I would listen to our podcast if it wasn't me, right? And I'm very particular about what kind of podcast I listen to. I'm real bougie when it comes to that. But I love y'all. Thank y'all. And we will see y'all next week. Bye.
And tell your friends to pull up.
Yes. Bring your friend next week. Bring a friend. Because next week, we're talking about relationships next week. Today we talked about family. But next week we're talking about relationships, romantic and platonic, because we got to get this thing right, y'all. We got to learn how to do relationships right. And so next week, join us for another episode of your favorite international podcast, Dear Christian Black Girl. Bye.
Bye.